There's a tremendous atmosphere out there tonight. To me, that's what college football is about. That was a fun thing to do. It was an exhausting thing to do, but it was fun. And thank the fans. That was a tremendous effort by our fans tonight to back us and stay in it the whole time. It didn't look like it was going to be there. They did a great job of being that 12th man tonight that gives these kids a lot of resolve, and unbelievably proud of them. You know, we challenged our guys to find out who we are. We're not where we want to be, but we do know who we are. That's a team that will fight you, will compete with you, that understands how to win, how to be a family, and understands how to love from within. It truly does. I'm proud to coach them. I need to coach them better. We need to do better in a lot of areas. That's the good thing. We still got a lot of room for improvement. But I can't be prouder. You know, when you build a program, a great program is built like a family. It loves each other. You have rules. You have structure. You spend a lot of time together. When your players misstep, you balance education, which we do a lot, more than anybody in America, as much as anybody in America, with punitive measures. They understand there's consequences. I don't condone any of the comments Jameis made earlier this week and how aware he chose to make them. He knows that. Our team knows that. We spoke a lot about that throughout the week internally and with the administration. I have high expectations for our players and our staff and the people you represent. At the end of the day, we felt like the one game made the most sense, and I chose to keep that process internal. Now he served that punishment, and he's ready to move forward. He'll be back at practice on Monday, and he'll be our quarterback on Monday. You never know at the pace kids learn or why they make mistakes. Our hope and belief is Jameis will learn from this and use better judgment. And the language and decision making and his respect for everything will continue to grow. And you know, Sean had a chance to step up, be ready when his number was called. Just like E.J. Manuel did when Christian went down, like Clint did when E.J. went down. We've had that happen a lot. I can't be prouder of Sean McGuire tonight, what he did for our team and the resolve he had, and for our overall team in all three phases. I thought the defense did an unbelievable job. Get a 4th and 1 stop and played their hearts out when we couldn't get things going on offense. They were dominating the line of scrimmage at the end of the whole day. In the first half, we couldn't run the ball. We found ways to score. We couldn't run it till we had to run it at the end. We ran it for those last 25 yards and scored. Like I said, we're not perfect. We're nowhere close. Couldn't be prouder of Case and Beatty tonight. When we struggled on offense, that guy hit great punts in big-time situations when everybody's been riding him, wanting to make a choice on him. You know, sometimes in life, guys, you got to believe in people. Because if people don't believe in you, you're not going to get any better. You take their hope away, it's easy to criticize until you stand out there and on the field and compete. I'm extremely proud of what he did. Extremely proud of what he did. Proud of Roberto, kicks and the way we cover team. We couldn't cover kicks, now we can cover kicks. We got a lot of room to grow in a lot of areas. I'm proud of Carlos, our leadership, Rashad Green, him and Nick O'Leary. They can play with anybody, anywhere, anytime. They understand how to make them in big-time situations. Our secondary did a great job. Our front, Mario Edwards, those guys are all growing. I'm proud of this team. I'm anxious to see where this team can go. It's got to get better, but physically, mentally, and spiritually, this is a very tough team. We just got to get better fundamentally. We got to coach better, make better decisions. I'll do that, and make sure our coaches do that. Tonight for our coaches, keeping our kids in the game, being able to adjust to those situations, make halftime adjustments, be able to come out, score points, move the ball, stop them on defense, critical times in the red zone, to keep fighting, scratching, clawing. Had the ball on the 1-yard line, you never know. Held it for 2 plays and get a snap over your head. Things happen, man. That's football. This team believes in it. It believes it's always going to be successful. But we're building something special here. I love what we're building. It's got to continue to grow in it. Because for a young team and the youth on this team, can't be prouder. Can't be prouder. It's a tough week, but we're ready to move on, and look forward to playing NC State next week. Questions?
Coach, do you think that Florida State should remain #1 after this performance?
Sure do.
Explain why.
But we ain't lost in 19 straight games. And we were number one, so somebody beats us.
Jimbo, did you guys practice the overtime scenario this week? And if you did?
No, we didn't practice it. We go over it, though. We work a lot of red zone situations from the 25 in, and we work drives every Thursday. We do a drive every Thursday, how we would do things coming in in our red zone goal line 2-point play situation every week that we go in. All those situations have been covered.
The plays that you called in the overtime, is that all scripted? Or?
No. It depends. But getting the ball second, getting the ball first and getting the ball second is totally different. You know what I mean? And once we got it, and I wanted to see if there was a couple, we hit those runs a couple times, and once we popped that first one, once we hit to the 12, we got the best kicker in America. You don't want to take it out of his hands and put it on, you put it on his foot, and then at the same time, our line continued. I'd rather run the touchdown in, which we did.
We're going to talk about the decision in regulation to go for the overtime.
Minute 36, you're backed up on, what's the odds? All right, you haven't moved it all day, you haven't run it, you just had a turnover going in, you're playing in your home stadium in front of your crowd. The odds of scoring from your own 20 in 2 minutes, a minute 36, and you struggled all day, up and down, makes no sense. See, a coach, sometimes you talk about playing to win, but sometimes a coach, you don't want to take it away from him. Me going for being aggressive there would have been stupid. It would have taken it could have taken the game away from our players who fought so hard to get that last turnover and get us in that situation. And I'd rather go into overtime in our home stadium.
Does having Aguayo and having a defense that's played pretty well really give you, do you think, an overtime too? Is that playing into it?
A little bit, but not really. Not backed up to win. Now, if we're at the 40 or 50, I'm going. I'm not backed up to 20. See, most people know you don't usually go to you hit the 30 or 35. Now, if you have a very experienced quarterback, you can do it at maybe 25 or 30. When you get backed up, you don't do that to a kid. Because I'm going to tell you something, you can ruin quarterbacks before you can make them. You know what I mean? You can put them in bad situations to fail and have them fail and it not be their fault. Be your fault as a coach. And we didn't want to do that to him.
What was the difference in Sean starting with that first drive in the second half?
Well, I think we went back in and we were losing control and we weren't getting the ball out of our hands. We had some shots down the field that we thought were open. We couldn't get protection. He missed a couple reads at times, but that's, his first start. We had some big plays we could have hit. But we wanted to come back out, get him in a rhythm, get control of the line of scrimmage again, negate their pass rush by getting the ball out of our hands, get it to our playmakers, try to mix it around, get it to different people. And we got him in a rhythm and got him some confidence and got our line some confidence because, we weren't holding the football so long. I wanted to hit some big plays. I thought we could early, but their pass rush negated that.
Do you think you attempted that pass to Rashad in the fourth quarter and the first quarter? Did his confidence there?
I don't know. I mean, probably not. Once you get in the flow of the game and you get things going. We'd hit that same pass earlier in the drive over on the other side. And then we got, and it's funny, and he comes after he took a sack, which he probably shouldn't have taken. But that's what I loved about him tonight. He just kept playing the next play, and that takes a lot out. That takes a lot for a first start.
So, can you tell us what was going on with the running game tonight? I mean, only 13 yards.
We didn't get him. We couldn't block him. We didn't block him very well, and I got to do a better job of scheming it and getting it going. I take responsibility for that.
Do you think you guys were distracted at all after what's happened over the last?
I think distractions were part of it. Yeah, I definitely do. But I thought the last 48 hours, a little bit on Thursday and then Friday, Saturday, we resolved and come back, and that's what I think the mental resolve of this football team. That's why I love them. They understand how to rally together. They understand how to pull together, and they understand how much they care for each other. They want to play, and I think they mentally got themselves back together.
Well, why did Jameis come out for warm-ups in full pads?
I don't know. And we prepped for that. Put him back in.
Jimbo,
Because he wanted to be with his teammates.
Eddie Goldman, late in the game, came up huge for you guys. Forced the fumble, was in on that fourth down play, got a big
And that
sack.
guy had earned you wasn't supposed to play. Wasn't supposed to play. To answer your question, because he loved his teammates.
Two more questions, Coach.
But I kind of like this.
Strategy changed at all? We found out just yesterday you were going to have Jameis in the second half?
A little bit, yes. Most definitely did. You had to change everything. You had to change a lot of things. You had a whole different plan, had a whole different package. And you had certain things with Sean for a half that you had cut down. You had to add a bunch of things. You had to resolve for a whole coach and a half or a whole game is totally different. There was a lot of work we had to do late Friday night and early Saturday all day. There's a lot of things that we had to get done. But that's, hey, life gives you turns all the time. You got to adjust and adapt and you move on.
So, Coach, you finished the game without your best player on defense probably as well.
Mario, yes.
What is that going to do in a week filled with a lot of new issues? What is that going to do for your team as unity going forward?
And that was team issues. We could feel a lot of team issues, always team issues. They keep growing. They next guy up, just like Sean was up. He stepped up. Mario Pender got hurt. We had Niles out there batting on the knee, and he got banged up and kept playing. Those guys, Eddie Goldman, PJ, Darby, those guys are growing. They're growing into men. They're growing up. They're
So
growing
the mood in the locker room right now?
I'm sorry?
The mood in the locker room right now?
Love and commitment to each other.
Jim, at what point with the suspension did it start turning a half game into a first game? When did some new evidence?
Listen, we made the decision. I'm not going to get into timetables. It doesn't matter. We had a full game suspension, and we moved on, and we're going on next week. Thank you.
That's good.
Thanks, sir.